I'm Roger Mills. I'm here with Todd Wright with Wright Hearing and Balance Center in Gadsden, which I say Gadsden, but there's a lot of locations that y'all have, Todd.
Yes, we have several.
Where all are y'all located?
We're in Albertville, Fort Payne, Center, Oxford, and Pell City, along with Gadsden.
Now, the Gadsden location that we're in is a recent move. I mean, you've been here, but where the location is, actually.
Yeah, we've been in Gadsden for 42 years. My father started this business in 1970. I went to work with him in 1983, and now my sons actually work with me. So we're third generation hearing business. That's all we do is hearing.
Right.
We don't have any other gadgets or anything that we do. We go to work every day to make people hear better.
Right. Now, you mentioned it's a family business and it's your sons are in it, which I can imagine being a family man, that's always a catch-22.
Yeah, it sometimes it's rough, you know.
Sure.
They don't always like daddy at the end of the day, but
right.
most days I think they do, so that's
right.
okay.
Sure. Well, you know, we've talked, we met a while back and talked about why it was important for you. Because I'm sure you could have sold it. The business is successful. Y'all do things right here and you could have sold it. Why was it important for you to stay in the business?
Well, because of my children. We were approached about 5-6 years ago and were offered several $1 million for the business. At the time, I was 42 years old and everything was going well and my kids were, you know, in school and preparing to do this. So it was like, nah, I don't think I want the money. And since then, most of the places have actually went corporate. A couple of our competitors that we have here are actually owned by manufacturers. So they have lots of money for advertising and so forth that we don't necessarily have. But I actually control the things that we do. So I make sure that I can actually stand up and say, if you purchase a hearing aid from Wright Hearing Center and you're not satisfied, it won't cost you a penny. And they can't say that.
That's right. It's unusual.
Yeah,
it's neat to see the relationship that you and your kids have, and the staff. That it does feel very family. Or when you come in,
it is family. All of my employees are like family.
Right.
You know, they call me for advice. Most of them are younger, and they call me and want to know about this or that. But it's like a big family. And our patients, you know, everything's a first name basis and kind of real casual. Not it's like going to your house instead of going to the doctor. Which you know, not saying we're doctors, but a lot of folks look at it like going to the doctor's office. You know.
Yes.
We do have a doctor of audiology that's on staff, and she is a local lady. She's from Center, Alabama. Grew up in Center and. Went to the University of Alabama and to the University of Tennessee and got her doctorate from Tennessee.
Well, that's kind of
a mix-up, big time. But she still pulls for the Tide. She's not much on the Tennessee side.
I gotcha. Well, let's do this. Something that that y'all are really known for is your technology. It's cutting edge. There's not another product out there that's any better than what y'all sell. Tell me about the brands that y'all sell and a little about what's out.
We can get virtually any brand, no matter if it's a franchise or if it's not. All the franchise companies that are out there, they're all owned by a company, or another company owns that franchise. For instance, Audibel is owned by Starkey. Miracle-Ear is owned by Siemens, a group called Amplifon, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And Beltone is owned by GM Resound. So there's a lot of, we can get virtually any because we can buy the name brand. We can buy the Resound, or we can buy the Siemens, or we can buy the Starkey. And so we can virtually get any brand that a patient. A lot of times we have patients that come in, they've researched and decided what they want. You know?
Sure.
Don't always work out. We get them what they want, and then they go back and get what we advised them on to start with. But
sure.
But we let them make their choice, and usually, like I said, usually they go back and get what we offered them.
Sure.
But we want to make sure that they're satisfied. If you don't get it exactly like the patient wants it, they're not going to wear it.
That's
so
right.
We don't like hearing aids in drawers. We go through great steps to keep that from happening.
Sure.
We We fit a hearing aid. We just started. One of the reasons we opened this new building, we built this building, is we're starting a rehab program, and each and every time someone purchases a hearing aid, we're going to have available to them a 6 to 8 week program or longer if they need, where they can actually learn to use the hearing aid, because most folks have been 10, 15 years without hearing. And the old adage, if you don't use it, you lose it, really comes true with hearing. The longer someone is gone, it takes a lot longer to get them back to where they can hear.
So it's kind of a training process they go through?
It's a training process to get them back to where they can hear. And you know, we interact with the patient. So we sit down and, you know, how are you doing? We fit them with a hearing aid. We come back a week later and say, how are you doing? You know, where are you having trouble? Are you doing, was church well? Or how's your television going? Make sure there's nothing we need to add to the hearing aid. Make sure that we got them to where they can hear as best as possible. And then we work with them to try to ensure that they can understand with the product in as many places, you know. Hearing aids don't replace the ears, but hearing aids actually will help you to understand.
Well, something that a lot of people don't know about you personally is that, you know, not to use a cliche off other commercials or other shows, but you use them yourselves.
I use it myself.
You're not just an owner, but you're...
Yeah, I do. I use it myself. I have this little one right here, which is actually my favorite.
Yeah.
And that is a Starkey 110. It's very small, discreet, and then works very well. I was in a group the other night of about 100 people, and it was amazing how well I could hear through the hearing aid with that. And then I also have, of course, the little IIC that everybody wants. And this hearing aid here is kind of you love it or you don't. But you can go in there with that, and it's totally invisible. It's gone.
Well, until you pulled that one off.
Yeah.
God, I couldn't tell that you had that on.
This one we have to have a certain size ear canal and so forth to be able to fit. However, it is very small. It doesn't have to be a lot of size. We don't need a great big ear to put it in. But if we have someone that's too small, not a lot of space in there to put the parts, we a lot of times go with that one there. Right. And between the two of them, they're pretty much just totally invisible.
Right.
If someone finds out you're wearing it, you actually tell them.
Sure. Sure, absolutely. And you know, I know there's 100 things I'd love to talk to you about. But another one that I noticed today, because it was in your office, and part of my job is letting people know about what y'all do and how you do it. And I made you bring the award out.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, we were presented this award by the Starkey Hearing Alliance, and we were the largest increase this year in the United States. Our percentage of sales increased more than anyone else in the United States.
Now, did y'all hear that? That's not Gadsden. That's
nationwide.
Everywhere.
I didn't know anything about it. I went to the manufacturer last month, and they kind of shocked me with that one. And then afterwards, they said, "You know that was coming." I'm like, "How would I have known that was coming?" You know.
Sure.
But it was. Starkey has a bunch of little bitty things. I'm not certain if it was just their Starkey Hearing Alliance, which is what we are. Starkey Hearing Alliance is Starkey's unique group of dispensers throughout the country that they've chosen to represent them. And if someone calls Starkey and says, "I need to purchase a hearing aid," we are going to be the people that they refer those folks to. We were the largest in the U.S., so that was a pretty nice thing, which says we had to be doing something right, or we wouldn't have been able to do it.
That's right.
So that was really impressive.
Right. Well, that will pretty much end our show today. But again, I want to make sure that everybody at home realizes that you've got one of the nation's best right here at home.
We can do anything anyone else, and I personally think we do it better.
Well, I hope that confidence makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So, and again, I appreciate Todd being with us today.
Thank you.
And y'all stick around. We'll have Todd back with some more programs.
All right.